talking about We're talking about Netflix movies for some reason. But no,
we're
they're
talking about Netflix movies. But that's
well,
because he asked me what's up. And I told him exactly what went on in a movie that my mother saw that I was watching that I didn't like because that didn't appeal to me.
Okay.
It didn't have my
and it's a
attention.
fantasy movie.
It's an adult animated film. It's
Okay.
not made
Oh,
for children.
animated film. All right, cool.
It's not made
but
for children. It's not meant for children. It's not for children. Should not be watching it. That's not the audience. The audience is our adults.
it's an animated comedy, right? It's
No,
like a.
it's like a wannabe bootlegged animated DreamWorks Pixar film.
All right. Well, I'll put it in my queue and I'll look it up. But
You'll watch it,
just
you'll
tell me
watch
just
it.
tell me the name and I'll find it. But
I just told you, Nimona, like 9 times. No.
well, tell me again because
well,
I'm
now
not.
it's 11 actually.
Well, tell me
Nimona. Nimona. N-I-M-O-N-A.
N-A-I-O-N.
N November. I India. M Mike. O Oscar. N November. A Alpha.
I'm not gonna remember all that, but I'll type it in.
I'll text it to you.
I'll type it in.
Ladies and
But,
gentlemen, if you're curious about this film, it's on Netflix. It's an animated film. Its target audience are adults. If, in the case you want to combine knights with futuristic tech and magic and a bootlegged rip-off of numerous scenes from 2001 Godzilla, sure, we can do that.
And the best Netflix movies for me are their Oscar baity films. Like The Irishman is an absolute masterpiece. Roma's a masterpiece. Power of the Dog is really good,
No,
but
no, you know what's an Oscar-worthy film? Gladiator.
yeah, that's a great
Do
movie.
not
It
challenge me
won
on that.
Best Picture. It's a great film. I love it.
It is one of the
It
greatest.
won Best Picture and Best Actor. It's one of Russell Crowe's greatest performances. But A Beautiful Mind's also really good too. But Roma is a masterpiece. The Power of the Dog's really good. Oh God, All Quiet on the Western Front is one of the greatest war movies ever made. Just it broke my heart.
I don't
It's
know.
one of the most.
I don't know. I think
it's one.
Saving Private Ryan is. Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, but All Quiet on the Western Front's even better. But like All Quiet on the Western Front, because it's way more depressing, it's way more tragic, and it is so heartbreaking in the end. That's one of the most brutal movies I've ever seen in my life.
I want to clarify one thing. We're
everything.
No. We're not here talking about war films because we like war. We're
Right,
just
right.
talking about
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, I know.
Unfortunately,
they fucking know
war
that.
movies
But
are exciting and fun because there's a lot of shooting and blowing things up. And,
yeah,
and
but
bullets
my
flying
favorite
everywhere,
war
dying.
movies are the ones that are more
However,
philosophical and depressing.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It actually gets onto the war.
There are
what people
uplifting war
experience.
movies. There are war movies that are not always depressing, but
Forrest Gump is a good war movie.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is an absolute masterpiece. It deserved all the Oscars it won, but I would have been just as happy if All Quiet on the Western Front had won Best Picture too. So, you know.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen,
Wait, what's the topic
welcome.
today? What's the topic?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steve. This is Steve Stoltz Nerd Talk. I'm here with Brian J from Brian J's Nerd Talk.
Brian J's Nerd Talk.
Now, we're talking about Netflix films because I just got here after my mother finished watching one film and is now watching 2012, and I told her, ironically, 2012 was a movie that everybody said the world was going to end on.
2012, yeah. That
Yeah.
movie's a lot of fun.
That movie's a lot
It's
of
not
fun.
a great movie, but it's fun.
No,
It's
no,
fun.
It's
yeah.
a good popcorn film you can watch, have good laughs,
yeah.
and be like, oh, that's great.
Of all the Roland Emmerich movies, that one was one of his better ones.
I think we're doing
It's
a joke
okay.
today. Though the real topic I wanted to address was the whole Stella Blade controversy going on.
Yeah, with the
and,
whole
and the whole censorship.
with the
which-
censorship from Sony, not Sony Japan, because there is no Sony Japan anymore.
No.
But
So when you say
yeah,
Sony, when you
Sony.
say Sony,
Just
PlayStation,
Sony.
No. When
Just
you say,
Sony
no,
PlayStation.
It's Sony PlayStation. Keep that in mind.
Sony West, Sony the West,
It's like
Sony the W.
Sony Entertainment Interactive America. SIE.
Sony the West. Damn the West.
The damn
The damn West. No, but the new outfits are pretty fucking hot. She's still hot. Like they haven't changed her body at all.
No,
you know?
but a lot of the controversy, a lot of the outback, the cry, the rebellion from the players that are going, Sony, curse you! My money's mine!
Oh yeah, there are a lot of players that felt pissed off because they felt like they got gypped. They were paid
they were
for
lied to. They were falsely
an
advertised.
uncensored game, and it got censored with the patches. So if you got a physical copy, if you don't want censorship, you got that copy, and good for you. That's great. I personally don't care because she's still pretty hot, and I'm not really obsessed with like women being half naked or butt naked in games, but she's still hot. She looks great in the outfits, and you could still pick the outfit where she's mostly halfway naked anyway. The see-through suit.
No. So a lot of this is because it's false marketing, false advertisement.
Yeah.
This is a game you can play. It's not censored. Everyone has the same version all over the world. Well, now they do.
Well, the problem
I guess
was
the censored version is the same
well, it's
version,
because
but
the
it is
game
censored, not uncensored.
The guy who made the game was saying it wouldn't be censored until the game was coming out, and that's when Sony said, "Well, you gotta put patches to censor this or that."
Well, that's because of
I'm pretty.
Alyssa.
He probably didn't want to do it
what's
anyway.
her name? Alyssa Mercante. Alyssa Market. Okay, I want people to be very aware of that.
I mean, he probably didn't want to do it anyway.
Complained, made a hit piece on Kotaku, or did I be on one of those irrelevant news trash? things, and the woman looks like somebody who probably fell on their face when they were a child and lost their homecoming photo because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid with these journalists and people like attacking people who want to play a game with a hot chick and calling them names and insulting them. Like, if you yourself don't want to play a game because you feel like, because she like her body, whatever else, is like way too over the top, fine. But to insult people and put them down, that's like a no-no. That's just really stupid.
Oh no!
And it's very classless. And it's classless. It's very low class, and it's just really unnecessary. And they're doing it because well, they know they're probably going to lose their jobs anyways. A lot of these woke writers from gaming journalists, a lot of that's being shut down because you piss off gamers to the point where they're just not going to read the shit because you were trying to appeal to a market that they thought that they could appeal to, but now they're losing money. And they're basically gone.
Yeah. What are the famous words? Hold on, let me look in the passage of the holy text.
There are very few writers.
Woke, go broke.
Yeah, there are very few writers on Kotaku that I'll actually read who's a legitimate journalist. Like the woman who reported on how horrible the production was, the development was for Fallout 76. Yeah, she's a real journalist, and so was Jason Schreier when he worked at Kotaku before.
Didn't she leave?
She probably left recently, but I know Jason Schreier worked at Kotaku. He wrote some of the greatest articles ever.
I believe he's at Bloomberg
now. Yeah, he's at Bloomberg now, and he writes great books on video games and the development of video games. But his article on Red Dead Redemption 2 and the hellacious development back in 2018 changed Rockstar Games forever, and they don't even do crunch anymore because of that article, which was so eye-opening. But yeah, he left Kotaku and he went to Bloomberg. So.
Yeah, so Kotaku is just a
stepping stone.
It's just a company that needs to be shut down at this point.
Well,
collect the losses.
Well, no, they are. They're stopping. Kotaku is stopping a lot of the articles. Like, these are like the last couple articles for like the next couple months talking about these topics. But they're switching over to articles talking about other things and AI, but also talking about just topics that don't have to do with politics. And of course, the Kotaku writers are pissed off, and most of them got laid off, and a lot more are getting laid off too, because they were hired. They were hired.
I don't know why they're pissed off. Their job is literally to write articles, talk about video games, not in negative, not in positive,
no, but that's the thing. But that's the thing because
fairly critique video games.
But that's the thing because the ownership of Kotaku hired all those people for the purpose of talking about politics, and yeah, that was popular and did well, kind of well when Trump was in the White House. But now that there's no Trump and the Republican Party is in full-on chaos, those articles don't really gain any traction, and those people aren't really reading them anymore, and they don't even stop by. And the gamers who would read have kind of been insulted to the point that they won't even read it now in the first place. So they're losing money on those articles because they're getting made but not getting a lot of clicks. So they're shutting down that portion of the writers and not talking about politics anymore, so they're getting fired. And Kotaku's not the only publication that's doing this. And they're only doing this because the Democrats are back in the White House, so there's no like bad guy or villain to go after. Even with the controversy with Joe Biden and what's going on with the Middle East, we're not going to get into that, but even with all that, there still isn't a boogeyman to paint as a villain to go after because the Democrats are back in the White House. So yeah.
Oh, you got 2 viewers. Hello.
Yeah, I had 3 viewers. It's great. Yeah, I'm glad we're doing this on Thursdays. I get more viewers on Thursdays than I do on Wednesdays. Well, I get more viewers on the weekends than I do on Wednesdays. So,
well, because on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Oh, hello. How are you guys?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Gladion? Welcome back. But yeah, it's
the closer you get towards the weekend, the more free people are.
That's
Whereas
true.
As the weekdays, they're behind the desk doing the 9 to 5, 9 to 10. All
it's
that
more
stuff.
chill from Thursday to Sunday. But yeah, but the whole thing with Stellar Blade, I don't think it's a big deal. But if you feel it's a big deal, just buy the physical edition. Disconnect your internet connection from PlayStation 5 and play the game the way it was in the demo.
If you want to play Stellar Blade, getting a refund,
you won't get the trophies though. So if you want to get the trophies and platinum the game, just connect it. No. If it's disconnected, you're not going to get all the trophies. So you're not going to be able to platinum the game. For you to platinum Stellar Blade, it has to be connected to the internet so you can get all the trophies. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Yeah. So if you want to platinum the game and get all the trophies that's in the game, you connect your PS5 to the internet and you could platinum the game. If you don't want to do that,
gentlemen, no, hold on.
If you don't want to do that, don't do that.
I need to introduce you to the most electrifying man of all of MTA, Knuckles.
What's up, Knuckles?
What's up? What's going on?
He just graces with his presence.
Oh yeah.
What train did you take this time? The 1 or the G?
Took the J over here.
Oh, you took the Juliet.
But what's it called? But the thing is, with transit, here's the thing. If you're trying to get anywhere in the city with a HPV fast as fuck, the 1, the 6, the C, and the N. There you go.
Cool. All right.
Words of wisdom for the one and the only man of transit himself.
Words of wisdom. Yes.
We've been graced by transit.
And stay away from the 2, 4, and 8 overnight.
Don't forget the fucking S.
Nah,
Don't forget that shuttle. Don't forget that shuttle train.
nah, the F is alright.
I'm talking about the S.
Oh, the shuttle?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the shuttle's a shuttle. You really can't do much about that.
Yeah.
It runs worse at night.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
No, it's what it is.
Okay, so I did my review. We're kind of getting off of celebrating movies here. I want to talk about this book that I
So
read.
I have, before you do,
Before we do? Okay, you go ahead.
I have Celebrate physically.
Yeah.
The disconnecting it from the internet is the wisest thing to do.
Yeah.
You play it the first through with the original unfiltered.
Unless you want a platinum.
Unedited.
Unless you want a platinum.
If you want platinum, you still get a lot of the trophies. You'll just get some trophies won't
Right.
unlock because you need to get the connection.
Right, but you're not going to platinum. You're not going to get everything unless you're connected to the internet. Because there are certain things in the game to do that it has to be connected to the internet. So, that's just the way it is now.
Don't let it. Don't let it.
It's up to you. You do what you want. It's your game. It's your experience.
Money,
it's your money.
It's your time. It's
Yeah.
your entertainment. It's your value.
And
Invest.
it is a fun game. I beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, the first game. It's a really good game. I'm kind of
Final Fantasy or Snowblade?
no. Well, I'm saying I'm kind of iffy on the ending. I'm liking Rebirth so far, even though the performance issues are there. Like, there are frame rate drops in the game, and it's like at 30 FPS, and it's like kind of skitty. And I'm like, this game came out 4 years later, and the performance with the first game was way better than this. And I don't understand why, but it needs a lot of updates. I'm enjoying the combat. I love the combat, and I haven't got into the whole open world part
I'm
yet.
gonna
But
say this. I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, it's fun.
Capcom chased a very small fringe group of people who don't buy video games, who don't play them. With the DEI practices, all of this modern audience is a mystical unicorn that doesn't exist. Gaming companies are chasing it, and they're financially losing money. And I hope their investors do rally against
well,
them.
it's because of poor decision making. Capcom has the same thing. But they make better they're making greater games with better content, and not every game that's coming out is a greedy live service microtransaction game. And even though there's microtransactions in Dragon's Dogma, you can play the game and get all that shit that you could just buy. But you also don't need to grind forever and ever and ever to get the same shit that you could just buy with microtransactions. And it's a hugely successful game. Street Fighter 6 was a success. Every Capcom game that's come out is a success. And because they don't do none of the shit that Square Enix has been doing. So,
Anyways, so I do want to mention this one more thing. This will be the last thing that I'm gonna touch up on, and then I'm gonna leave because I think my video is gonna be like about 15, maybe 20 minutes. PlayStation, which moved their headquarters from Japan to America to be able to get their games worldwide, they made a mistake. They are no longer a Japanese company; they're American. They're
even though the
headquartered
guys in
California.
Japan still run everything.
Yes, but America makes the more.
They make the bigger
They
decisions
make the
now.
bigger decisions, and that was the biggest mistake that Japan allowed America to make, was having that
Yeah.
leadership of
They're still number
PlayStation.
2. They're still number 2 in terms of sales and player base, but they're hurting a lot of goodwill. The new guy who's in charge and the next guy could be better. I mean, the guy who does the Horizon games, he's a big time gamer and he loves video games, and I would love for him to be in charge mostly because he's actually a pretty cool guy. But since they shut down Sony Japan, it's just been kind of very up and down. There's not been as much
Well,
consistency.
It's been mostly downhill. a lot of the up that they get from the bump in sales and all that.
Even when they have a
it
huge
tends to
success,
just be rolled out.
even when there's a huge success, there's controversy. Like Spider-Man 2 was a massive success. Lots of controversy, So yeah.
We will not bring that up.
I know. We're not going to do
bring
that.
that up. We're not bringing that
I
up.
know. I'll only talk about what the topic that pisses you off. I want to see you get mad and be raving on the live stream, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, even that had controversy.
Well, yeah.
The one major release.
They tried to appropriate Spanish. You can't do that.
Right, the one major release that they had that didn't have a lot of controversy was God of War Ragnarok. That was like a massive success, not a lot of controversy. But I just wanted to go on this other topic because I just finished reading the third and final book of the Crescent City book trilogy. It's a new adult fantasy trilogy. It's called House of Flame and Shadow, and the book was so terrible and disappointing. Like, I've heard Sarah J. Maas is a good writer, but I feel like she's become so famous and so successful that now
Fame went to her head.
that's gone to her head, and she doesn't have really an editor anymore, and her books are getting too long, too bloated. There were way too many POVs, way too many characters, way too much going on in every single chapter. And by the end of the book, I was burned out, and I just stopped fucking caring. I was happy for the happy ending for the love interest, Hunt Athalar and Bryce Quinlan. I was happy they got their happy ending. I was happy that all the characters really got their happy ending. But by the end of it, I just didn't care because I was so burned out because it was such a poorly written book with too much shit going on. And yeah, it's the worst fantasy book that I've read this year. It's the worst book that I've read this year. When I started becoming more of a consistent avid reader in the last 2 years, I would say of all the fantasy books and books that I've read, I think House of Flame and Shadow is the worst book that I've read. It's even worse than the fantasy books, the Imperium series by Rebecca Yarros, because those books, the fantasy part made no sense. Like the plotting and the logic was the characters and the war and the divisions and the fantasy, all that was absolutely stupid and made no fucking sense. But the relationships, the love story and the friendships and the companionship, all that was pretty well done. And there's not too many POVs, but there is too many characters. But those books are at least fun and entertaining, and I could get a kick out of it. House of Flame and Shadow was just exhausting by the end of the book. It was just so exhausting.
I know what
but
book
those are my thoughts.
I know what book I'm not reading. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
I do want to say, if you're an advent player of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of Destruction is just released.
But before we sign off, I just wanted to say, I am burnt the fuck out on new adult fantasy. I am burnt the fuck out. I can't take it. It's like young adult. It's like young adult. No, let me finish.
Have you erased your search history? Your browsing history?
No. But I'm
gotta delete that.
But I am burnt out on new adult, so I'm taking a break. I'm taking a much needed break for the next 3 to 4 months. I'm going to go back to reading epic fantasy, real epic fantasy, great fantasy that's written by adults. Because my issue with new adult is that it's basically written with the same juvenility as young adult, but there's more nudity, and pornographic stuff going in to really appeal to like a juvenile mainstream audience that do exist. These books are being bought like hotcakes. I mean, Sarah J. Maas makes like $10 million a year, and Rebecca Yarros is set for life because of the sales of the Imperium series. But it's like all that is done for juvenile stuff, but it's done for, it's basically pornography, but it's porn for women because for porn, it's different for men and women. Like for men, it's more visual. For women, it's more oral. There has to be a story. There has to be characters. There has to be like a character development and a background. And for women, the 5 things they're really into when it comes to porn and romance and love stories is vampires, werewolves, pirates, surgeons, and billionaires. And I learned this reading some of the book called A Billion Wicked Thoughts that was put together and written by the Google engineers who looked up and did research of the billions upon billions of searches from women who look up and read porn and watch porn. And those are the 5 things that women are into. Now, this is 2012. In 2024, you might have to put in fays, fairies, because women are really into hot fairies. With like really fantasy. No, fays. They're hot guys who are fays, who are like really good looking, who are great in bed, and are like super overpowered. And women are really fays.
And incubus?
No, fays.
Fays are not just guys. They're both female and.
No, I know, but it's guys who are fays. I think fays are now in the top 10. I think they would be in the top 10, and that's because of Sarah J. Maas. It's because of Sarah J. Maas.
I want to say this before you get my 20 minutes. What he's basically saying is, all these books are catered to one group and only one group.
A huge group.
One group and only one group.
Women who are middle-aged, women in their 30s, and women who are in their teens and in their 20s. And
guys know this. Guys know how to bundle.
And these books sell millions. These books sell millions and millions of copies. And good for those women for getting their kicks. I'm happy for them. And again, I like the Imperium series. I'm pretty sure there's new adult fantasy that's written really well. So far, I haven't completely found it, even though I liked the first Crescent City book. The second book wasn't good. The third book sucked. It was terrible.
No, that reminds me.
But I'm taking a break because I'm burnt out. I want to read adult fantasy. I'm reading The Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. It's incredible so far. I'm still reading it. I'm reading Robert Jordan's.
Isn't this like the 3rd time you read these books?
I'm reading Words of Radiance is the 2nd book to Stormlight Archive. I'm reading The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. I'm reading that. And so that's what I'm going to be sticking to. and I'm gonna be reading other books and fantasy books. But I am burned out on new adult. I am really burned out.
Terry Goodkind, Sword and Soul series.
I'm gonna read that too. But just like I got burned out on young adult, really. I mean, I haven't gone back to YA in a long time because I got burned out by a lot of the juvenility. Even though there's some books I like. I like Cassandra Clare. I like her books, but that woman's got some mental, like, psychological issues. I feel like she just expresses in her book, and I like the romance, but it's just like she plagiarizes a lot in their other YA books. Like, I love Young Elites. Young Elites was a lot of fun. That was a damn good book series. But those are just my thoughts.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a short video for me, as I would like to go get some food, have some milkshake, and
Now I gotta drink some water.
do some stuff. I'm drinking water. It's very hot, very humid. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be making a video probably soon. It will be a video on my thoughts and my thoughts alone as to where I stand on it or what I see or all that crap. I'll explain further in on that time.
Yeah.
My name is Steve. This is Steve Stos and Nerd Talk. This is Brian J.
Yeah, it's Brian J's Nerd Talk, and I'll talk to y'all later. It's been great doing this little episode. Peace.
Have a good day, guys.
Have a good day,
Take
y'all.
care.
Live long and prosper.
Oh, wait, before I
What?
forget, if you like this sort of content or if you like anything that we're
Hit the like and
speaking
subscribe.
about, hit the like and subscribe
Hit the
button.
like and
Hit the
subscribe.
notification bell to stay up to date.
Hit the
And
notification
we'll see
button.
you again real soon.
Live long and
Take
prosper.
care. I still have to record my freaking videos and then upload them.